This YouTube user made almost a 30-minute video to me, and like many of the atheists out there who've made video responses towards me or tried to debunk me or refute me, and of course they failed miserably every single time. And one of the reasons why you fail is because you don't actually listen to my videos. You don't actually pay attention. I see you leaving comments, but you're not actually listening. How do I know you're not listening? For one, you continue to refer to me as a Christian, and I've said over and over and over 100 times in my videos that I'm not a Christian. That's all I call myself, is a theist, one who believes in God. I don't hold to any kind of doctrine.
All right, fine. You're a theist and not really a Christian. Well, you'll have to excuse my confusion when the very beginning of your video after the disclaimer has a picture of Jesus for like 30 seconds, and then in the top right corner of all your videos is a picture of Jesus, and then at the end of your video there's the song Angels of Darkness from a Christian metal band, Holy Hell. And on a lot of the video covers you have the Bible or another picture of Jesus in the galaxy. All of your topics either have to do, well, besides your, I'm talking the ones at least on your atheistic channel or ones at your theist channel, whatever, to have, to talk to atheists and you talk with Christians. You'll have to excuse me if I go, oh, well, maybe he's a Christian. But fine, you're a theist that quotes a lot from the Bible and talks about the Bible and talks about God and talks about all these things. So, okay, fine, sure. Bad people do bad things. Yes, these people were atheists, but let's look at all the things that people did things in the name of Christianity,
Right on cue, ladies and gentlemen. Do you notice the moment that you pull out a bunch of dictators like Mao, Pol Pot, Joseph Stalin, and literally over an abundance of dictators out there and atheists who've had any authority roles have murdered and killed, instead of the atheist trying to defend his position, instead of the atheist trying to deal with the murderers and killers and the wretched animals that are actually within his own group and position, he wants to shift the blame, move the goalpost, and try to point at every other group, thinking that in some kind of way this is going to get him off the hook, that some way this is going to take the blood off of the hands of the atheist position.
I find it funny because I am right at the beginning of the clip. I had said, bad people do bad things. The whole point of me, saying what I said, at least the parts that you didn't quote mine out, I was trying to point out that it doesn't matter whether you're an atheist or you're a Christian or a theist or a Buddhist or whatever. People that are in power, and I even said this in my video, which you didn't bother to mention, people that are in power, that are evil, are going to do evil things. I was pointing out that it's not just atheists. You can't just go around saying, look at these terrible atheist people that have done these terrible things. Look at all the terrible things that Christians or any other believers of any other kind of religion do, because they do want to do evil things. So, I'll admit it, yes, atheists, those particular people, have done evil things. But as I said in the other video, it wasn't in the name of atheism for why they did it. So, there. I have accounted and done all the things that you have asked and said that I'm refusing to do. Atheists have done terrible things. Everybody, people in general, have done terrible things, though. That was my point.
He's willing to say, look, I made my choices in life.
By the way, Brett Keanes starts talking about Jeffrey Dahmer, and he shows clips of Jeffrey Dahmer. So this is who he's talking about. Anyways, so let's watch.
I'm accountable for the things that I have done. As where most atheists, they can't admit when they're wrong. They can't admit whenever they've made bad choices, even if it's something simple or something basic.
Once again, I'm going to ask you, is that something that you believed when you were an atheist? Did you think you didn't have to be accountable for what you did? Were you incapable of admitting where you were wrong, or that you should admit to that? Is that really how you felt as an atheist?
A lot of atheists are intellectually dishonest.
I find that funny coming from a man that watches my entire video and refuses to address 3/4 of the points. Just because I called him a Christian and not a theist, the points still were valid. And when I asked him specific questions to address, he still hasn't answered them. I would have to call that intellectually dishonest, but that's just me.
Isn't it strange that a cannibal actually makes more logical sense and actually makes more rational arguments and can actually be responsible and hold himself accountable for the things he's done, but the atheist on YouTube can't?
What does his being a cannibal have to do with his ability to be able to account for what he's done or take the blame, and keep and bear the responsibility for his actions? Cannibalism is, as it's been studied in the films, in the realm of psychology and whatnot, it's shown there is psychological aspects for why he eats people, or why certain people eat people. There's different reasons, but sometimes it has to do with keeping the people with him so he's not alone, keeping them as a trophy. There's all kinds of reasons for it, but that doesn't affect his rationale or his logic. And then to try and compare atheists and say that, oh, look at the atheist, they can't even do what a cannibal does, as if a cannibal is a subhuman species. Cannibalism has been around for a long time. Yes, it's culturally unpopular. It's not like he's a subhuman person. But, again, neither here nor there.
They can't accept that they're sinners. They don't hold to any kind of doctrine. They can't accept that every human being on this planet is without sin. They don't hold to any kind of doctrine.
Point out that everybody thinks we have some sort of consciousness. Christians don't have a monopoly on the idea of consciousness. We just don't think it's a soul.
Right. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't think that any of the many victims that he killed and had any kind of soul whatsoever either. He just seen them as a hamburger and just something for him to feed on. You basically see human beings as nothing more than evolved slime that ended up as primates, and then here we are today. You don't believe that we have souls, so we have no intrinsic meaning or purpose. We don't have any objective morals and ethics. We don't hold to any kind of doctrine. So it's only one's opinion to state that what Jeffrey Dahmer did was wrong according to you. But if you've got objective binding morals, then you can clearly state that what he did was wrong. I don't hold to any kind of doctrine. You could clearly say that this is a negative aspect. But how would you do that? You don't have a God. You don't have any kind of belief. You don't even think humans have souls. So why would you care? And whenever it comes to the consciousness, my friend, atheists can't even explain why it is they have a consciousness. Even Bill Nye was asked during his debate with Ken Ham, how did the consciousness come to be? And he said, we don't know. Nobody knows.
So what if I can't account for it? It doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that I don't value it just because I don't understand where it comes from. What is that argument supposed to say? What are you trying to get from that?
So, should I believe you or should I believe Bill Nye? Bill Nye is a scientist, and you're just some cook who makes burritos for a living. Good for you.
See, Brett, I know that you're watching my videos, and I know you're watching them because you're leaving comments. I have stated over and over and over in my videos, I even made a video specifically about it, and in Google Hangouts that were featured with me in it, that I'm not a chef. The name chef, to call myself the atheist chef, was a play on the idea of God having intrinsic qualities such as being a creator, that they call him a creator. So I am not a chef. So then Brett plays a clip from Jeffrey Dahmer, and he talks about his atheism and why he did what he did, and in his standpoint on people, and how he saw them and whatnot. I'm not going to play it. I'm just setting that up as a preface to what Brett is about to say next.
So as you can see, I actually have visual and I have audio evidence of the atheist philosophy.
No. What you have is proof of Jeffrey Dahmer's philosophy on people. Yes, so he saw people as, meat, hamburger meat, slime, whatever, and he could do whatever he wanted. That is not atheism. He may have been an atheist, and his atheism may have led him to believe that, but that is not a side effect of atheism. That is his way of thinking. Because I'm an atheist, and I don't see people as hamburger meat. We can pull up a whole busload of atheists, and I can guarantee you they're going to say the same thing. You cannot compare Jeffrey Dahmer with a regular atheist. Period.
If he sincerely accepted Jesus Christ, then he has an opportunity to be able to go to heaven and have an eternity of joy, love, and peace. I don't hold to any kind of doctrine.
Even if Jeffrey Dahmer went up to each victim, grabbed a megaphone, and set it out in front of people and said, I'm doing this in the name of atheism. I'm doing this because I believe people are hamburger meat. And he shouted it out to the world. That doesn't affect what atheism really is. When you have people say, I hate to go down with the whole Hitler thing, but let's just say he killed somebody and said, I'm doing this because, for the name of Christianity, I'm doing this because God himself instructed me to do so. I'm doing this because this is what Christians should do. Would everybody in the world go, oh my God, Christianity is terrible? No, they think the guy was fucking nuts. It has no bearing on Christianity, just as if Jeffrey Dahmer has no bearing on atheism. Again, I'm going to ask you, when you were an atheist, did you feel that humans were unevolved monkeys, flinging poo everywhere? Did you feel that humans were just hamburger meat with chemicals bouncing around? Did you feel that you didn't have to be accountable for your actions and that you didn't have to be responsible for what you've done? Did you feel and did you agree with everything that you're saying right now about atheists like myself? Is that how you really feel, that we're unable, that we need to have a handler to make sure we don't hurt ourselves and others, that we're barely capable of being on YouTube, much less being in a debate or anything like that? When you were an atheist, if there was a Brett Keane out there saying those things to you, would you have agreed with them? I see that you didn't reply to that in my video, and I wonder why. And most notably, the biggest thing that I want to say is that, Brett, with everything that I said, I brought up a counterpoint to pretty much every claim that you made about that atheists are this. Atheists believe humans are hamburger meat, chemicals, blah, blah, blah. You just completely disregarded that. You brought out one atheist, one crazy guy, and said that he stands for all atheists. You did not bother to listen to anything that I had said and completely dismissed it. That, my friend, is intellectual dishonesty. And I hope that any Christian that watches your channel is starting to see this. Anyways, this is the Atheist Chef signing off. Peace. My confusion when the very beginning of your video after the disclaimer has a picture of Jesus for like 30 seconds, and then in the top right corner of all your videos is a picture of Jesus, and then at the end of your video there's the song Angels of Darkness from a Christian metal band, Holy Hell. And on a lot of the video covers you have the Bible or another picture of Jesus in the galaxy. All of your topics either have to do, well, besides your, I'm talking the ones at least on your atheistic channel or ones at your theist channel, whatever, to have, to talk to atheists and you talk with Christians. You'll have to excuse me if I go, oh, well, maybe he's Christian. But fine, you're a theist that quotes a lot from the Bible and talks about the Bible and talks about God and talks about all these things. So, okay, fine. Sure. Bad people do bad things. Yes, these people were atheists, but let's look at all the things that people did things in the name of Christianity.
Right on cue, ladies and gentlemen. Do you notice the moment that you pull out a bunch of dictators like Mao, Pol Pot, Joseph Stalin, and this YouTube user made almost a 30-minute video to me. And like many of the atheists out there who've made video responses towards me or tried to debunk me or refute me, and of course they failed miserably every single time. And one of the reasons why you fail is because you don't actually listen to my videos. You don't actually pay attention. I see you leaving comments, but you're not actually listening. How do I know you're not listening? For one, you continue to refer to me as a Christian, and I've said over and over and over 100 times in my videos that I'm not a Christian. That's all I call myself, is a theist, one who believes in God. I don't hold to any kind of doctrine.
All right, fine. You're a theist and not really a Christian. Well, you'll have to excuse my